In this video, we're going to talk about inheritance. In the real world, many objects are specialized versions of more general objects. Grasshoppers and bees are specialized types of insects. Pugs are specialized types of dogs. In addition to the general insect characteristics, they have unique characteristics. For example, grasshoppers can hop, bees can sting, make honey, and build hives. So while they have a common base, they are different at lower levels, but you can refer to them as insects in a general sense. Okay, so here would be an inheritance hierarchy. We've got insect, bumblebee, and grasshoppers. Okay, inheritance is what is called an is-a relationship. A bee is a, or an in this case, an insect. A grasshopper is an insect. A pug is a dog. One object is a specialized version of the other. We call that an is-a relationship. The specialized object has all the characteristics of the general object plus unique characteristics. Rectangle is a shape, daisy is a flower, and so forth. In programming, inheritance is used to create an is-a relationship between classes. We have a superclass, which is our base class. It's a generalized class. A subclass is what we call a derived class. Superclass would be insect. Subclass would be bee. An extended version of the superclass is what a subclass is. It inherits attributes and methods of the superclass. New attributes and methods can be added. For example, if you need to create classes for cars, pickups, trucks, and SUVs, all are automobiles. All would have a make, year, model, mileage, and price. These can be the attributes for the base class. In addition, a car has a number of doors, pickup truck has a drive type, and SUV has a passenger capacity. In a class definition for a subclass, we indicate this in Python by putting the superclass in parentheses. The initializer method of a subclass then calls the initializer method of a superclass and then initialize its own attributes. And then we can add our own unique method definitions for that particular class. Here's a UML diagram and how it's drawn showing a class. Here we've got our automobile and its parameters, its member variables. And here we've got our methods. And then cars, for example, will have its own member variables and its own methods. Okay, which differentiate from the parent. But the child would have all the methods and data of the parent as well. So, even though it only shows set drive type here, set make and model are available to it too. Polymorphism is an object's ability to take different forms. Okay, the essential ingredients of polymorphism is the ability to find a method in a superclass and override it in a subclass that says, when I'm a car, you do X, you drive. When I'm a plane, a vehicle, if using vehicle as a superclass, I fly. Methods have the same name but could do different things. And the ability to call the correct version of an override method depends on the type of object that called for it. In previous inheritance examples, we showed how to override the init method. And we called the superclass init method in our subclass and added on to it. The same can be done for any other method. The method can call the superclass equivalent and add to it or do something completely different. Polymorphism provides great flexibility when designing a program. An attribute error exception is throws when a method is received on an object which isn't an instance of the right class. So you have a superclass car and a superclass dog. You can't call a car method on a dog. IsInstance function determines whether an object is an instance of the class. So format isInstance, object, comma, class is how you'd call it, but you shouldn't find yourself using this a lot. Instead, you should rely on polymorphism. We're going to demo all this in the example. Okay, so we're going to build our first example of an inheritance hierarchy. So let's start with our base class of automobile. Okay, and what we're going to do is we'll have a couple very basic methods, and we'll set up the init class, and fortunately it's going mostly done for us. And here are the setters and getters. We got all those mapped out. And so this is the basics of our first class. Okay, it allows us to get our mileage, get our other stuff, set them as well, and so we're all good there. So then, now that we've got an automobile, we're going to create a subclass of it called truck or a car. Let's start with a car. So we will say here that we will say class car, and we indicated inherits from automobile. Okay, and then we can add our own methods. We've got init, and the first thing we do is we call the init on the superclass in order to set it up, and then from there, and we do it like this: we get the name of the base class, the automobile, and we call init with the appropriate parameters. Okay, and then because here's where we define it above. Okay, then we're going to call and set up any additional items that we have on there. Okay, and we're going to add methods, set doors, etc. So now that we've done that, we can, and normally I put these in their own files, but now we will have if name equals main. Let's create a car. Okay. Combine. We'll create a car, and I don't know why it doesn't like that, but we'll figure it out. And then we will display the object's data. But notice here that we're calling number of doors, which is defined in car. But we're also calling get mileage, which isn't defined in car, it's defined in its parent. It essentially brings them down. All right, and let's give this a run. For some reason, it doesn't like that. Let's check that out. Oops, the problem was that I actually had this outdented instead of indented. Anyway, so here we create a car. We'll give it all its values. And then what it does is it calls this init, and it takes these values and sends them all the way up to this guy. And then what we do next is we call the fields to present these properties. Now notice when we call it, we get to use all these individual properties. Okay? And you can inherit from, you can have multiple classes that inherit from one class, but you can't have one class inherit multiple. So let's take another example. Let's add a car. Let's add a pickup truck. We'll just call it truck. And inherits from automobile. Okay. And then we'll add these fields. And again now, we can go ahead in main, and now we will create a truck object. Okay. And we'll use the settings. Truck, and now we will display the car's data, or the truck's data. And like before, we'll use methods from the parent. Okay. Now, subclasses can go, you can have subclasses of subclasses. So let's say we're going to create a class called electric truck. That inherit, or let's say, yeah, electric car that inherits from car. All right, well, then we will have methods. We will have, and we'll add a battery field to it. So, like before, we will now def init. Now, notice we only need to call its immediate parents constructor because it will call its parents constructor. Okay, and then we're going to set our battery life. And then also now we've got to add methods to get and set our battery life. Okay. we will define def set battery life, and then likewise we will get the get battery life. Now, so now we've got two classes. We've got electric car. Now what we can do here is some fun stuff. We can come down here, and we can create an object of the electric car class. And then we will say, whoops, there's some leaf. All right, and a battery life 24 kilowatt hours. So we create it like this. And once again, now we can go ahead and display the electric cars data, and we can make model. And there we go. And now we can use methods and features that are available only to cars that, for example, a truck couldn't get to. And so there's part of it. So now here's the things get a little interesting. When, let's say we create a new list. List equals all the cars. Now, all the common methods they have can be used on any of those. So you could have a loop that says for item in list, print the gate, mech, and model, and then we could specialize to use is instance, although, you know, there are other ways to do that too. And then this will print out, it'll use all the messages that are in common, but then when it's a specific type, use a specific type one. Now, that does kind of break the whole point of being able to use encapsulation. And the way I would get around that in this case was I would define on each of these a print method to print each of them, and it could call the parent where appropriate. So what we would do here, for example, let's go all the way up to automobile, and we will say def print self, right? And then we'll come down here and we'll steal all the commonality stuff, right? Let's go back up here, and then we could say spaces in here. Obviously now, instead of use car, we will use this, or self rather. Self. And again, replace it with self. And once again. So now we have a print method for this. So now what we can do is in car, let's go get the code out here. Grab this number of doors. And so in car now, we can override this method that we've inherited called print. Okay, we say def print self. And then we can say automobile, do the printing from the automobile, and then add the new field we want to print. And now, once again, we can do that here too. Def print self. And we print the automobile stuff and the additional info. Now with the car type, we change it up just a little bit. Def print self. We're going to use the car printing. Oh, I'm missing a parenthesis. Let's make sure we don't have the same problem above. All right, so now we can take our code here and really clean it up. We can say used car. prints. Used truck. Print. And now, oops. And now we could say electric. Hard print. Okay, and now for here, all we gotta say is item.print. So now when we run it, we first have to save it. Now when we run it, it prints them all, and our code is much cleaner. And the beauty part is, each call to print automatically knows which version of print it needs to call. That's why that's much cleaner than using the isInstanceOf method, because that is not good object-oriented programming. Whereas in good object-oriented programming, you have the item, the object be responsible for how to take care of itself with its own methods. So there you go.